a lot of fucking pain here, but with pain comes great reward, and it feels fucking good. The pain leaves what comes in. Pride. Fucking natural high. That you're actually doing something, you're making a difference in your life.
Reason, at least 8 million Americans suffer from anorexia or bulimia, diseases with the highest mortality rates of any mental illness. 20% of people with anorexia will die prematurely. 95% of those with eating disorders are between 12 and 25. So why are young people killing themselves to be thin? Scientists are still learning about the biological causes, but we do know there are social and emotional factors, from low self-esteem to a culture that's obsessed with a perfect body.
We keep hearing that Australian women are getting bigger. The average clothing size now is a 14 to 16. But how do we treat those larger women? We subject them to discrimination and double standards.
Get Senatorin, get results.
Millions of Americans have made Hydroxycut the #1 weight loss supplement brand. Thermogenic Hydroxycut Advance, infused with scientific research ingredient that burns calories, boosts metabolism, and increase energy to support active lifestyle.
If you want to look extraordinary, you're gonna first have to go extreme.
I don't train for second place, I train to be the best. That's why I train with Bowflex.
Okay, so here it is, the more detailed video on creatine. A lot of people are still confused as to, what creatine is about. And I just want to start by, going back to basics and what energy the muscles use to contract during your workouts and stuff. And this is what creatine's main job is to do, is to fuel, muscle contractions and stuff. And we've probably all heard of ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. And it's something that's got 3 phosphate groups, hence the name triphosphate. And when it undergoes the chemical reaction to fuel muscle contractions, it will actually lose one of its phosphate groups and become adenosine diphosphate, or ADP. And what the body needs to do then is turn ADP back into ATP so it can use it again for more contractions. And when we take creatine, or we don't take creatine, because as we all know, creatine is synthesized in the body naturally, so if we don't take it, it's still going to be in our body, it's still going to be in our muscles, because we make it in our body anyway. But by supplementing with it, we're increasing, the creatine content in our muscles. So when we take creatine, it's stored in the muscles as creatine phosphate. So when ATP turns into ADP, creatine will come along, or creatine phosphate will come along, and say, here you go, have one of my phosphate groups. And then ADP will then gain a phosphate group and become ATP again. I'm doing bicep curls in my workout. If I haven't taken creatine, if I'm somebody that's never taken creatine before, and I can get 12 reps out of my bicep curls, and just, the last 3 reps I really can't get the last couple out, it's because my ATP is completely depleted. But if I'd supplemented with creatine, it makes the body's job of turning ADP back into ATP a lot easier. So I've got more creatine in my muscles, which means I've got more ATP available for muscle contractions. So I'd be able to do, 12 reps easier than if somebody who wasn't taking creatine, the same size and build and strength. So I hope that clears it up a little bit more.
Put your body in motion. You will remain in motion. Not just in the gym, but outside of the gym. Your mind's in motion. Everything's in motion. And when everything's in motion, what happens? You give birth to new opportunities.
Is creatine bad? Creatine has been blamed for all sorts of effects, from muscle cramps to dehydration to increased injuries in athletes. These effects have been looked at extensively by researchers. Multiple studies, conducted over 5 years, reported no side effect. The fact is, creatine may be the most extensively researched performance-enhancing supplement of all time. with a somewhat astounding safety record. Bottom line, creatine safety has been extensively researched and has been shown to be much safer than most over-the-counter products, including aspirin. You cannot overdose on creatine.
You only live once, but if you work it right, once is enough, my friends.